Hello everyone. Today on Good Morning Maine, a tragic boating accident turns deadly off the coast of Maine.
Plus the latest on road repairs following Tropical Storm Felipe.
And we'll also see how people observed Indigenous Peoples Day all around the state.
Good morning and welcome to Good Morning Maine. I'm Emma Smith.
And I'm Craig Colson. Thank you for joining us. We'll have those stories coming up, but first a check of the forecast. Looks like a pretty nice day ahead today. We'll see plenty of clouds, but we'll see some sunshine too. Maybe a chance of a passing sprinkle, kind of like yesterday.
Yep.
We didn't see any rain around Bangor that I saw, but
it was a beautiful day.
Yeah, it turned out to be nice fall day. Get outside and enjoy while you can.
Yeah, another day like that today.
Snow's coming.
Right, you're right.
Sorry, I didn't mean to bring that up.
Yeah.
But
The doomsday prepper over here. Here's Devin Biggs with the forecast.
Alrighty, thank you very much. Happy Tuesday. Your first weather forecast brought to you by Tip Trailer Grocers, offering discounted and a great selection of local produce, meat, and dairy. So as we get into things this morning, we do have a frost advisory in the western parts of the state dropping later on this morning, though. As for the rest of us, nothing in effect, at least at this point, so we're looking pretty good out there, at least at this point in time. There is some areas of dense fog that has developed out there this morning near parts of the Millinocket to Caribou areas, and even down into parts of Washington County as well. Also near the Waterville area, noticing some areas of dense fog that has developed this morning. This will be burning off as the day progresses on, as we'll have a little bit of sunshine trying to sneak through the clouds from time to time too. But otherwise, though, the rain is kind of cleared out of here for now. Today looking like a pretty dry day, but there are more chances of precipitation in the forecast coming up soon. As we zoom things out there, a lot of these showers are kind of caught up with this area low pressure right about in here that continues to sit and spin, and if anything, it's tracking slowly to the west for the time being, though. So we'll be watching for a few more chances for showers coming up soon. Futurecast for today, a partly cloudy sky, the general idea, maybe some showers in the northern parts of the state, but for us, so we're dry until later on tonight where a few showers may try to develop. As for the wind, not too bad, roughly at around 5 to 10 miles per hour today. It will back off a bit later on tonight, but as we head towards tomorrow, the wind starting off rather calm, but then increasing to about 5 to 10 miles per hour. So our hourly forecast for the rest of the morning and afternoon period, a mixture of clouds and sunshine with temperatures rising into the 60s. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up.
all right, thank you, Devin. We'll see you a little later on. Well, it was a tragic ending to an adventure at sea for people aboard a schooner off Rockland. One person was killed and 2 others were injured Monday when a mast on the vessel snapped off and fell onto the boat below. Anna Kuhn has more.
Rockland EMS says 2 of those injured are in the hospital and 1 other was flown to the hospital to deal with their injuries. Those injuries coming after investigators say a mast broke and fell onto this ship behind me called the Grace Bailey. Grace Bailey Navigation spokesperson says the ship was returning from a 4-day cruise when that mast split and fell onto the deck. The Coast Guard says there were 33 people on board at the time. The U.S. Coast Guard as well as Rockland Emergency Services responded to that scene around 10:30 this morning and got the injured passengers off the ship. In a statement, Grace Bailey's captain, Sam Sikema, said, quote, "My crew and I are devastated by this morning's accident, especially since the safety of our guests is always our biggest priority. Most importantly, we are beyond heartbroken that we lost a dear friend." No word yet on the identities of any of those victims or what might have caused that mast to split, but the U.S. Coast Guard is launching an investigation.
A crash Monday morning left part of Interstate 95 stalled for nearly 12 hours. According to Maine State Police, a tractor trailer traveling northbound on I-95 ran off the road and struck several trees. Troopers responded to the crash at around 9:30 a.m. It happened around mile marker 174 in Carmel. State police say the 2 people inside the vehicle suffered non-life-threatening injuries. Both passengers were transported to a nearby hospital. The interstate was down to a single lane for several hours. Motorists reported via social media that they were still sitting in traffic around 8 p.m. The cause of that crash has not yet been released.
Well, a man from Unity is facing several charges following a deadly crash in Albion. Authorities say 51-year-old Stephen Bard was driving a pickup truck that crashed with a van on Friday afternoon at the intersection of Belfast and Unity roads. They say the unidentified driver of the van was killed and Bard walked away from the scene. According to the Portland Press-Herald, Bard was later found in Unity and is now facing numerous charges, including causing serious bodily injury or death while his license was suspended. He's also charged with leaving the scene of an accident and causing death while operating under the influence.
A man involved in a deadly shooting in Lisbon has passed away. Authorities say 38-year-old Benjamin Peterson of Pittston shot himself Friday, moments after he shot and killed 30-year-old Kylie Turcotte. Authorities say Turcotte was trying to end a relationship with Peterson and was working on getting back together with her husband. Her parents say Peterson had become controlling and manipulative, and she went to law enforcement seeking a protection order just a few days before her death. They were in a car Friday in Lisbon when firefighters say they heard screaming. They then saw Peterson move away from the vehicle and shoot himself. We've learned he passed away Friday night in the hospital.
The death toll continues to rise as the fighting rages on in the Middle East. Devin Dagnall joins us now for local reactions to the war in Israel. Devin.
Thank you, Craig. The grandson of a Bangor man has been killed in the violence in Israel. The Israel Defense Forces say Ara Ziering was killed Saturday when Hamas launched a surprise attack in Gaza. Ziering is the grandson of Howard Trotsky, a former high school teacher in Bangor. Trotsky also served as a state senator for Maine. According to the Bangor Daily, Ziering was a member of the K-9 Special Forces unit in Israel. We'll have the latest on the ongoing war a little later in the broadcast. Along with Trotsky, the impacts of the war in Israel are being felt by people here in Maine. Congregation Beth Abram Rabbi Chaim Wolansky has friends and family that currently live in Israel. He says what's going on there right now is horrific.
They spent the holiday in bomb shelters with their family, children, young kids, and I have many friends that live in Israel, and they're all going through this terrible atrocity that's taking place right now. This is the worst thing that happened since the Holocaust. Children being taken away, slaughtered, grandparents being kidnapped and killed. Terrible things going on over here.
Maine Voices for Palestinian Rights is an organization that works to put an end to the Israeli occupation of Palestinian territories and recognize political and human rights for all Palestinian people. Former chairperson Robert Schabel has been following the conflict between these two nations for decades and says he's stunned with what he's witnessing.
We have good friends in both Israel, the West Bank, and Gaza. So we were very stunned. We were very frightened and shocked. I wish this had not happened. I also wish that the siege of Gaza, which has been going on by Israel for about a dozen years now, I wish that had not been happening and wasn't continuing to happen.
As I said before, we'll have more on the war later in the broadcast. Back to you, I'm Aaron Craig.
Thank you, Devin. Parts of Maine are working to clean up the mess post-tropical cyclone Felipe left behind. Our Grace Blanchard takes us to Searsport to check out the damage along the coast.
Traffic is being redirected on the corner of Prospect and Main Street in Searsport as construction crews work on a road that has been completely washed out.
I heard that the Gordon contractors were on site at 3 a.m. trying to get things cleared up so we could pass.
Parts of Maine are facing major road damage after being hit by several inches of rainfall from post-tropical cyclone Felipe. According to the Maine Department of Transportation, damage centered on the Mid-Coast and Bangor. In places like Searsport, the National Weather Services reported over 5 inches of rain accumulated between Saturday and Sunday.
Over the past couple of years, I've come through here after big storms, and the whole road is washed away.
Some people who work in the town are worried about how this will impact the ongoing construction and detours that have already slowed down business and visitors.
Some of the roads on the detour for the construction were flooded, and I think some of the construction was.
This past July, the Maine DOT began construction on Route 1 in downtown Searsport, and for storefronts on the downtown strip, the detours have made for a difficult tourist season.
Yeah, it's definitely slowed down things. That's what I've got the consensus of talking to other people.
However, some say it will all be worth the wait once the projects are complete.
It's an inconvenience, but in the long run, it'll help Searsport.
I would say just pack your patience, leave a couple of minutes early, and it'll all be worth it in the end.
It is unclear what kind of setback the damage from the storm will cause on the construction already going on throughout the town. In Searsport, I'm Grace Blanchard for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Mess.
A lot of traffic goes through there.
Yeah.
All right, the time now is 8:10. Coming up next on Good Morning Maine, people around the state paused Monday to celebrate the state's oldest residents. We'll have a look at this year's Indigenous Peoples Day.
But first, another check of that weather forecast. A partly cloudy day ahead today with highs near 62 degrees. Partly cloudy with a chance of showers overnight, lows dropping down to around the mid-40s. Tomorrow, a mostly cloudy day with a chance of showers with a high near 61 degrees.
Mesothelioma is more than a ravaging illness. It is a disease that can ruin a family's finances and is never the victim's fault. The law offices of Joe Bornstein has been fighting and winning for Maine families for nearly 50 years, and we've collected over $500 million for injured Mainers. If you or a loved one is a victim of mesothelioma or asbestos-related lung cancer, call Joe today for a free case evaluation and to learn about your family's legal rights. Dial 207-CALL-JOE or online at joebornstein.com.
Silver Fox Automotive is a family-owned and operated company with more than 30 years of experience. We are originally from the county and offer competitive prices and promise you will be completely satisfied with our work. We offer a stress-free experience to both our new and returning customers. We only use parts from reputable brands to ensure your vehicle is safe to drive. Here at Silver Fox, there will always be a friendly face to greet you. Come see us at 2004 Odlin Road in Herman.
Looking for your dream home? Contact a Next Homie today and see what's available right now. Sellers, get ready to get looped and get sold. With Next Home Experience, we have your buyers.
2 steak and egg, 2 chicken and waffle. How long?
2 minutes, 3 minutes.
It's like a car auction.
A fiery brunch challenge.
I want to win, right?
Which team goes down in flames?
Leave it. I'm done. Get out.
All new Hell's Kitchen. Then,
here we go.
You're gonna lava this challenge, complete with a Lego. Masters first.
Wow!
It's never happened before.
All new Lego Masters after an all new Hell's Kitchen, Thursday on Fox.
Welcome back, everyone. Indigenous Peoples Day is a time to recognize the history and culture of tribal communities here in Maine and all across the nation. But one museum in Bar Harbor doesn't celebrate just one day of the year. It honors tribal history every day. Doug Banks has the story.
How they had to fight for just the fact that they existed here before this, the fact that they had to buy back their land from the government is just mind-blowing. That was very interesting to read.
Indigenous Peoples Day marks a time for recognition, remembrance, and perseverance. Abbey Museum in Bar Harbor gives people an opportunity to gain knowledge and understanding of a community whose significance stretches far beyond every second Monday of October.
I think some museums, sometimes they don't give enough, they don't have enough not instructions, but they don't have enough explanations next to the items, but they had a sufficient amount of explanations here.
The museum holds pieces of the Wabanaki Confederacy, an alliance of tribes that include Passamaquoddy, Penobscot, Micmac, Maliseet, and Abenaki tribes.
Encapsulate a great number of years of human history that we otherwise easily overlook in our modern culture.
Pieces such as a painting titled Twisted Path, Questions of Balance, and the Circle of Four Directions drum are just two of the many items that bring people into a different world. Although today is just one day, there are some who see more than just a holiday, but a life and a history that doesn't go away when the calendar turns to tomorrow.
Forget the cruise ships, this being Bar Harbor, one of the greatest ports on the East Coast, and Acadia National Park is great scenery. But take a moment to consider what came before all of what we otherwise take for granted around us every day.
I preface this by saying, we know a fraction of what has gone on and what goes on, but it has allowed people like myself who don't know as much about it to go to them and understand what their experience may be about.
In Bar Harbor, Doug Banks, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
The Wabanaki Alliance held a rally at the State House yesterday to raise awareness for one of the ballot questions this November. Our Corey Bouchard was there and has the story.
Over 200 people rallied outside of the State House in support of Question 6, a referendum question that will appear on next month's ballot. Currently, printed copies of the Maine Constitution issued by the Secretary of State's office are missing Article 10, Sections 1, 2, and 5, which, among other things, details treaty and other obligations that Maine agreed to with its Native American tribal nations when it separated from Massachusetts and became its own state in 1820.
Treaties of 1820 showed that back then our ancestors were putting in the diplomacy and the good work to be included in those discussions. And whatever the reason is for taking those out of print, now is the time to restore it, now is the time to fix it, and now is the time to vote yes on Question 6 and get our full history in our printed Constitution.
Bryant added that this ballot question is the result of multiple bipartisan bills that went before the legislature.
To have a Constitution in the state of Maine that has a whole section about the tribes being struck out for absolutely no good reason is unconscionable. For people to not want to put that back would be incredible.
After the speeches, proponents of Question 6 marched to the steps of the State House. We spoke with some of them about why they think Question 6 is such an important issue.
I think it's important to bring back truth and history and to allow the Native people here to have their rights.
We need to uphold our promises to the Wabanaki nations, and it's printed in the Constitution when it was written, so it needs to be printed now.
The tribes made agreements with the government at a certain point, and we need to understand what those meant then, what they mean now in terms of what's due to the tribes.
We reached out to the James Finney Baxter Campaign Fund, a political action committee that opposes Question 6, and did not immediately receive a response. At the State House, I'm Corey Bouchard for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Great to see Corey is thriving in his new position. He's kind of new with us still, and he'll be kind of following the beat from Augusta, so we're glad to have him.
Yeah, nice to have somebody down at the State House.
Yeah.
Does a good job, too.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
All right, the time now is 8:17. After the break, we'll hear from folks who were hot to buy Powerball tickets yesterday in Herman.
That and more coming up after the break.
Behind every keepsake, there's a memory. Behind every photo, there's a story. Behind Bouchard Cleaning and Restoration, there's people giving back by bringing back what was thought to be lost. The details, the time, and the expertise, all packaged up behind a name that Mainers have trusted for over 35 years. Statewide commercial and residential services. Bouchard Cleaning and Restoration. You keep the memories. We'll handle the rest.
With Chevy Silverado and Silverado HD, you can take on the mountains, or you can move them. With the power of up to 36,000 pounds of max available towing and the confidence of an available 13.4-inch diagonal touchscreen. Whatever your mountain, there's a Silverado for you. Get 0% financing, plus make no monthly payments for 90 days on all 2023 Silverado 1500 pickups. Plus, get $1,000 cash allowance on this Silverado. Visit your Maine Chevy dealer.
Come stop by Triple S Tack Shop, 315 Hamden Road, Carmel, for quality clothing and equestrian gear.
Well, did you buy a Powerball ticket? Last night's jackpot was a record-breaking amount. Devin Dagnall tells us more.
Hey, how's it going? Yeah, we're doing all right.
Let me get this, 3 packs of Camel Crush. I'll get $4 on pump 4, and does that say 1.5 billion?
Yeah, it does say 1.5 billion.
I'll take 20 tickets. Tonight's Powerball jackpot is worth $1.5 billion. With an estimated cash value of just under $700 million, it's the game's 3rd largest jackpot in history.
I got 9 of them.
The odds of winning the Powerball jackpot is 1 in 300 million, which is 33 times less likely than being struck by lightning. Twice.
The odds are fine. They're in my favor right now.
With hundreds of millions on the line, you'd think the Mainers playing would develop some type of game plan, even if it was superstitious, but you'd be wrong.
You got a strategy to it?
Nope. Whatever they give me.
It's no strategy, just pick and hope.
Unsurprisingly, some of the Mainers say the first thing they would do if they won the jackpot is leave the state.
Oh, I would travel, go on vacation, go somewhere warm.
Devin Dagnall, ABC7 and Fox 22 News.
And apparently no one got the winning numbers last night, so there's still hope for all of us.
Yeah,
you know?
I guess so.
Might have to buy a ticket today.
I know I've asked before, and we've talked about it on air before, but what would you go for with all that money?
Boy, I don't know.
Immediately.
I don't know. I'd like to pay off everybody in my family's homes and things like that.
Yep.
Send people to college. Yep. You know, I do a lot of things for the community. I think about this, you know, every now and then. It's a neat fantasy, but yeah.
I think about my selfish things, and then I think about the community things. It's like, we need some housing.
Right.
If anybody
Housing
wins that lottery, build some affordable housing, man.
So it'll be interesting to see what happens.
Yep. Okay, the time now is 8:21.
Let's get a full look at our weather forecast.
All righty, here we go. Happy Tuesday. Your full weather forecast brought to you by Tip
I'd
Trailer
buy myself
Grocers, offering discounted and a great selection of local produce, meat, and dairy. So as we get into things this morning, we have a frost advisory in the western parts of the state, dropping later this morning, but as for the rest of us, no frost advisories are currently posted. We do have some clouds currently tracking through, along with some areas of dense fog near parts of the Millinocket and Caribou areas, also in parts of Washington County as well, and near the Waterville and Augusta areas, noticing some areas of dense fog developing this morning. Keep that in mind as you do travel this morning. As for the radar in Sally, we're pretty quiet out there for the time being. Just some clouds currently tracking through. A lot of the showers have cleared out of here for the time being, and we should stay dry today, except for the northern parts of the state. They may notice a few showers today, but as for the rest of us, we're looking okay. We should stay dry today. Any moisture that we have been seeing and will continue to see will be courtesy of this little area of low pressure here that continues to sit and spin and pull in some moisture. So there are a few more chances for showers that will be on the way soon. As we do move forward, though, all right, wave heights are still up there just a bit, around 4 to 5 feet. No small crowd advisories in effect over the ocean, continuing to remain a little bit active as we do move forward in time. So futurecast for today, any fog this morning getting out of here. Will be partly cloudy this afternoon. Maybe a few showers in the northern parts of the state. We'll be watching for a few showers possible later on tonight, especially for our southern counties. But as we head towards early Wednesday morning, starting off with a lot of sunshine, more fog possible yet again as we head towards Wednesday morning. We'll make sure to keep an eye on that. That'll get out of here as the day progresses on. A few showers possible again as we head towards the day on Wednesday. Then as we head towards Wednesday night, I should say, a few more showers will be on the way yet again. So otherwise, our average high temperature will be 61 degrees. That's where we should be for this time of the year. We'll do just about that the next few days in the lower 60s today, tomorrow, and Thursday. Back in the upper 50s Friday, lower 60s Saturday. And here we go, 50s again on Sunday, upper 50s, I should say, and middle 50s as we head towards your Monday. Forecast for today, lower 60s and a partly cloudy sky. Southwest wind getting up to about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Later on tonight, middle 40s, partly cloudy with a few showers out there, and the wind overall looking nice and calm. And for tomorrow, lower 60s, mostly cloudy with a few showers on the way. South wind getting up to about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Alrighty, here is looking at extended forecast brought to you by Tip Trailer. Alrighty, we have more showers possible on Thursday with highs in the low 60s. Upper 50s for your Friday with a slight chance for showers, and mostly cloudy on Saturday, highs in the low 60s.
Stop by Dirt Road Cafe today for fresh-baked cinnamon rolls, bread, whoopie pies, and cookies. Dirt Road Cafe specializes in nutritious farm-to-table meals for your family from ours. Why choose fast food when you can choose Dirt Road Cafe, offering the most affordable grab-and-go home-cooked meals around? Stop by today.
When a government-controlled utility took over in Long Island, New York, it made big promises. But what did residents get? Household electric costs increased by more than 50%. customers' bills skyrocketed with new surcharges. The utility ranked the lowest in customer service, and it failed to pay millions in required payments to local schools and fire departments on time. Don't bring New York's problems to Maine. Vote no on question 3.
Jerry's Used Cars has been a family-owned business for more than 30 years, currently in Corinna and Vesey. However, we have changed a little as we are no longer just a buy here, pay here dealership. We now have access to outside financing and also carry utility trailers. We would be happy to assist you with your next vehicle purchase. And don't forget, here at Jerry's Used Cars, we offer an extended warranty. So give us a call at either our Corinna or Vesey location.
What's up? Fox Wednesday. I ain't no holla back girl. It's 2000s night on The Masked Singer. Bye, bye, bye. Chillax with Jewel and Lance Bass. Fall crazy in love.
This is obviously a huge dog.
And catch a performance that's a big till.
Beverly Hills. That's where I wanna be. Pickle, 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 pickle. Yeah!
An all-new Masked Singer. Wednesday at 8 on Fox.
Stop by Dirt Road Cafe today for fresh baked cinnamon rolls, bread, whoopie pies, and cookies. Dirt Road Cafe specializes in nutritious farm-to-table meals for your family from ours. Why choose fast food when you can choose Dirt Road Cafe, offering the most affordable grab-and-go home-cooked meals around. Stop by today.
Welcome back, everyone. Turning overseas to the Middle East now, where Israel is escalating its war with the Islamic militant group Hamas. Israel has halted food and fuel shipments into Gaza as its military wages airstrikes targeting Hamas strongholds. Nearly 1,600 people are dead on both sides of the fight, including at least 11 Americans. ABC's Justin Finch is following the latest from Washington.
This morning, Israel at war. Israel Defense Forces releasing new video showing its airstrikes. The IDF says they've taken out more than 1,000 targets across Gaza as it hunts down Hamas. ABC's Ian Pannell there on the ground as Israel's military moves south towards Gaza in what could be a step towards a ground invasion.
These are armored personnel carriers essentially heading up towards the front line. We're seeing a lot of men, a lot of munitions, and a lot of movement. This is starting to look really like a country at war.
Israel also imposing a Gaza siege, blocking food, water, and utilities into the Palestinian territory. Civilians in Gaza now scrambling to save survivors trapped beneath rubble and caught in the crossfire. Now coming to light, evidence the Israel attack had been months in the making. Video showing fighters training on motorized paragliders practicing their surprise arrival into Israel. The family of 19-year-old Karina Ashayev worried for her safety after videos circulated online of her being taken into Gaza.
She just wants her to come home back safe and sound.
Hamas now claims to have more than 100 hostages and is threatening to execute a civilian hostage whenever Israel targets Gaza civilians without warning. A U.S. official tells ABC News the U.S. is providing intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance support to Israel's Special Operations Forces in its efforts to learn more about the status of those hostages. President Biden is set to give remarks later today about the war in Israel. Meantime, the U.S. continues to surge military resources, including an aircraft carrier and fighter jets. Justin Finch, ABC News, Washington.
President Biden has been interviewed by a special counsel as part of a classified documents investigation. The White House counsel's office says the interview was held voluntary over 2 days. Special counsel Robert Hur is overseeing the investigation into improperly stored classified documents at President Biden's Wilmington, Delaware home and at a Washington think tank office. The White House says the president is cooperating with the investigation and it will continue to provide relevant updates to the public on the case.
Well, in the race for the White House now, Robert F. Kennedy is going independent. His big announcement coming just as another presidential candidate picks up an early endorsement. Here's the latest from the race.
A new curveball in the race for president.
I'm here to declare myself an independent candidate.
Robert F. Kennedy Jr. leaving the Democratic Party to run as an independent.
The Democrats are frightened that I'm going to spoil the election for President Biden, and the Republicans are frightened that I'm going to spoil it for President Trump. The truth is, they're both right.
Back in April, he launched a long-shot bid for the Democratic nomination, but his position on vaccines and abortion were out of the party's mainstream. His own siblings denouncing his run as an independent, saying Bobby might share the same name as our father, but he does not share the same values, vision, or judgment. We denounce his candidacy and believe it to be perilous for our country. The other shakeup in the race comes on the Republican side. Former Texas Congressman Will Hurd dropping out and endorsing Nikki Haley. An average of polls from 538 shows the former South Carolina governor making inroads after her debate performances.
Honestly, every time I hear you, I feel a little bit dumber for what you say.
Haley is now in second place in New Hampshire, 3 points ahead of Florida Governor Ron DeSantis. But Iowa remains a challenge. Haley still in third. Former President Trump holds a commanding lead in both states.
After Kennedy's announcement as an independent, the Republican National Committee called him a radical. The Democratic National Committee did not respond. Andrea Fujii, ABC News, New York.
The United Auto Workers strike against major automakers expanding on Monday to include workers at one of the country's biggest manufacturers of heavy trucks. Fox News correspondent Garrett Tinney has the story.
The United Auto Workers strike is getting even bigger. Union workers at Mack Trucks joining the picket lines after voting down a new contract. About 4,000 Mack workers in Florida, Maryland, and Pennsylvania walking off the job Monday. The proposed deal that was broadly rejected by union membership would have included a 19% pay hike, a $3,500 bonus, and improved benefits and vacation time. But that is still far below the bar set by UAW President Shawn Fain, who is seeking a 36% raise for union workers over 4 years. So far, the two sides remain far apart on that number. UAW did not expand its strike on Friday as it had in weeks prior. That's because General Motors agreed to unionize its electric vehicle battery plants. Those workers will be crucial as companies ramp up their transition to EVs over the coming decade.
We would stand to lose 20% of our workforce if our members don't have rights to move into those jobs or transition into those jobs. That's what we talk about, a just transition.
That concession coming after the union threatened to shut down GM's crucial truck plant in Texas. Even with the standstill now in week 4, the union president says that they've been able to move the needle in negotiations.
We are making significant progress. In just 3 weeks, we have moved these companies further than anyone thought was possible.
About 25,000 workers are on the picket lines. The union says the strike will continue until a deal is reached with all 3 automakers. In Chicago, I'm Garrett Tinney, Fox News.
Coming up on the second half of the newscast, we'll hear from a local woman that had a dream about a moose and woke up and wrote her dream into a book.
Plus, we'll also get a recap of the Living History Days at the Maine Forest and Logging Museum over the weekend. Those stories and more as Good Morning Maine continues.
At your Toyota all-wheel drive headquarters, we see the world differently. You might see a sunny road, but we see the treacherous road it could become in winter. So to prepare you, we're holding the Toyota all-wheel drive savings event with thousands of Toyotas to choose from. You can get 3.99 financing on a RAV4, which could save you up to $1,700, plus get no-cost maintenance and more. The event ends October 31st, so see your New England Toyota dealer, your all-wheel drive headquarters. Toyota, let's go places.
Matt Scott here from Days World. Maine's most trusted heat pump provider is more polished than ever with an upgraded look at our Ellsworth location and with more than 100 employees serving the entire state of Maine. Due to growth and demand, our newly remodeled Ellsworth location is hiring experienced installers and electricians. You'll get competitive pay, great benefits, and a generous sign-on bonus. Visit our website to apply today. Days World, your trusted partner in heat pump education and installation. Days World, awesome.
You're watching Fox 22, Bangor.
Welcome back to Good Morning Maine. Today is Tuesday, October 10th, 2023. It's 10:10. Did you notice that?
I didn't notice that.
Yeah, it's cool.
There you go.
Today is also World Mental Health Day.
What does 10:10 mean?
It's the
just the
10th day of the 10th month.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Well, as our understanding of our own mental health grows, we grow alongside with it, and our collective understandings of mental health have come a long way in the last 30 years. It was back in 1992 that World Mental Health Day was first created.
And by having sensitivity to the topic of being unwell, we're reducing the stigma of mental illness and promoting wellness. Because the burden of getting better can't be solely placed on the individual. It really does take a village. If you're struggling with your mental health, it's important to seek help in any form that you can access. I know there's a lot of boundaries to accessing help sometimes. In Maine, you can call or text the crisis helpline at 988 to speak with someone about your mental health. That one's often reserved for emergencies, but they accept calls, crisis of any kind.
Yeah, bottom line is you don't have to do it alone. Talk to somebody, find a friend, whoever. They do want to hear what you have to say.
Right.
So.
Agreed.
All right, on this day back in 1865, the billiard ball was patented, allowing us to play the iconic game of pool. John Wesley Hyatt made it from a type of celluloid in Albany, New York. In 1871, the Great Chicago Fire was finally extinguished after 3 days, leaving about 300 people dead and 100,000 homeless, and costing $222 million in damage. And in 1886, the first dinner jacket, now called a tuxedo, was worn to an autumn ball in Tuxedo Park, New York.
I know I've said it in the past couple hours, but I feel like that's a good Jeopardy question.
Right,
so I wanted to put that in there.
Yeah, where did the origins of the tuxedo come from?
Right, it's just a name from New York.
Didn't know that.
In 1911, a group of revolutionaries launched an uprising in Wuchang, China, which many regard as the beginning of the Chinese Revolution, a nationalistic democratic revolt that overthrew the Qing dynasty. And in 1979, Canadian hockey great Wayne Gretzky made his NHL debut with the Edmonton Oilers.
The Great One. I think that was his nickname, something like that. For birthdays today, we have American rocker David Lee Roth, known for his vocals in Van Halen. He is 69 years old today. American actor Mario Lopez is 50 years old today, and he's apparently getting run over by race car driver Dale Earnhardt Jr.
It's a cool edit.
Who's 49 years old today. I like that too.
I like it.
It's like getting out of the way, buddy.
Cool. Somebody from each category.
Happy birthday to all of them.
Music, sports, and
rock and roll.
And actors. Yeah.
Music. I guess that covers that part.
Right.
Yeah.
And rock and roll.
Rock and roll, dude.
We're rocking and rolling right along, and let's check in with Devin Biggs. It's going to be a nice day.
Not bad at all.
Yeah.
Here's Devin with the details.
Alrighty, thank you very much. Happy Tuesday. Your first weather forecast brought to you by Tip Trailer Grocers, offering discounted and a great selection of local produce, meat, and dairy. So as we get into things this morning, we do have a frost advisory in the western parts of the state, dropping later on this morning, though. As for the rest of us, nothing in effect, at least at this point, so we're looking pretty good out there, at least at this point in time. There is some areas of dense fog that has developed out there this morning near parts of the Millinocket to Caribou areas, and even down into parts of Washington County as well. Also near the Waterville area, noticing some areas of dense fog that has developed this morning. This will be burning off as the day progresses on, as we'll have a little bit of sunshine trying to sneak through the clouds from time to time too. But otherwise, though, the rain is kind of cleared out of here for now. Today looking like a pretty dry day, but there are more chances of precipitation in the forecast coming up soon. As we zoom things out there, a lot of these showers are kind of caught up with this area low pressure right about in here that continues to sit and spin, and if anything, it's tracking slowly to the west for the time being, though. So we'll be watching for a few more chances for showers coming up soon. Futurecast for today, a partly cloudy sky, the general idea, maybe some showers in the northern parts of the state, but for us, so we're dry until later on tonight where a few showers may try to develop. As for the wind, not too bad, roughly at around 5 to 10 miles per hour today. It will back off a bit later on tonight, but as we head towards tomorrow, the wind starting off rather calm, but then increasing to about 5 to 10 miles per hour. So our hourly forecast for the rest of the morning and afternoon period, a mixture of clouds and sunshine with temperatures rising into the 60s. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up.
All right, thank you, Devin. A grandmother from Herman is proving dreams really do come true. Natalie Cole says she was sleeping peacefully when she had a dream about a moose named Moxie. When she woke up, she started writing a children's story about the moose in her dream and his adventures. She has since self-published the book in April and did all the pictures using her computer. Cole stopped by the Not So Empty Nest on Broadway in Bangor recently for a book signing.
I wanted it to be something that caught the kids' eye with the colors and with the message as well, and being, having good friends and trusting and having faith and all of that. And so I'm really pleased with the way that it came out.
Cole says all her grandchildren now have a copy of the book themselves. The Incredible Adventures of Moxie, the Maine Moose, is available at bookstores in Bar Harbor, Bucksport, Belfast, and online on Amazon. You can also find one at the Not So Empty Nest here in the city of Bangor. Might make a great present for maybe some kids visiting from out of state or who live out of state or something. So
yeah, absolutely.
Good for her. Yeah.
It's always good to add another book to your collection.
Yeah.
All right, still to come here this morning, we'll hear from a Nobel Prize winning author who's being honored for her work and research about the gender pay gap.
We also have a special guest here today talking about what?
One of my old friends. He started up a restaurant. This restaurant's actually a nonprofit that helps benefit a food pantry on Mount Desert Island. So stay tuned.
Don't go away.
Looking for a convenient place to get that big fitness energy? It's Planet Fitness.
You know it.
Now through October 13th, you can join for just $1 down, $10 a month. We've got over 2,400 locations with most open 24 hours. Join now to enjoy free fitness training and equipment for every workout. Whether you're new to a gym or a fitness pro, the Judgment-Free Zone is the place for you. Join Planet Fitness today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment. Cancel anytime. Deal ends October 13th.
Oh yeah, that's the energy. At Bob's, you never have to sacrifice style or quality for price. And that means you can host in style with my Betty set, only $5.99. Get built-in storage with Sonoma. Or get my best-selling Scarlett for only $58 per month for 30 months with special financing. That should impress everyone, even a teenager.
Sure.
Oh my Bob, she loves it!
She loves us.
When you don't have to compromise on style, quality, or price, there's only one thing to say. Oh my Bob!
Bob's Discount Furniture.
If you've been injured in an accident, get Maine's most recognized personal injury law firm working for you today. The law offices of Joe Bornstein, fighting and winning for injured Mainers for nearly 50 years. Selected best lawyers in America for personal injury. Recognized for professional excellence. With more than $500 million collected for injured Mainers and over 25,000 victories for Maine families. Call Joe for a free case evaluation and get the Bornstein Advantage.
Great things are always cooking at the Ground. New menu, new specials, with an amazing variety of choices for every taste. Good times, great service, and amazing food. Only at your locally owned Ground, Odland Road, Bangor.
When Healing Hands Massage wants to know the local forecast, they log on to foxbangor.com. Healing Hands Massage provides massage therapy tailored to each of its clients. Whether you have chronic pain or just want a little relaxation, Healing Hands Massage, Main Road North in Hamden.
25 words or less.
Monster, Dracula, zombie, Frankenstein. Yeah!
5 days a week.
Weekdays at 9 on Fox 22.
Welcome back to Good Morning Maine. I'm Emma Smith. Well, much has been said and studied over the years about the pay gap between men and women in the workplace. One Harvard professor's research seeks to explain why the divide persists and how it's earned her one of the highest honors in her field. Fox News correspondent Alexis McAdams has the story.
The Nobel Prize in Economics awarded on Monday to a Harvard professor whose work sheds light on the true cause of the pay gap between men and women. Claudia Golden is the author of Understanding the Gender Gap. She studied 200 years of women's participation in the workplace and says the environment has changed drastically in the 21st century.
Women are now more educated than men. They graduate from college at much higher rates than men. They do better in high school.
Despite those advances, women earn on average about 13% less than men. Golden says that number doesn't tell the whole story.
These differences, although some are found within the labor market, are really reflections of what happens within individuals' homes.
The key factor, Golden says, is parenthood. After having kids, women's pay tends to drop and career growth slows down. That's because modern corporate culture tends to reward workers with more flexibility and availability.
America runs on women. And we noticed that during the pandemic, when women were being pulled back into the home, because of their work and because of childcare.
Ultimately, Golden says both genders lose out, women on advancing in their careers and men on spending time at home with their families. Only about half the world's women have paying jobs compared to 80% of men. Economists believe that's a wasted opportunity, with jobs not always going to the most qualified candidates.
It's about economic efficiency of markets. So is there a risk that we're wasting potential by having women not participating in the labor market?
So Golden's work doesn't provide an easy answer on where we go next, but it could help policymakers understand the root cause of the disparity. Reporting in New York, I'm Alexis McAdams, Fox News.
All right, we'll be right back with a live interview with one of my close friends, and he's talking about how he's a chef of his own restaurant now. It's a nonprofit. We'll be right back.
Tomorrow morning on Star 97.7, Paul Dupuis has the music and fun. Sonny Shepard brings you Star 97.7 local news, and Steve McKay with the weather. Turn on your radio and get the Star treatment with Star 97.7.
We've been in business for 31 years, and our employees and guests are like family. We've worked hard, and they've worked hard. That's why question 3 worries me. It puts our power grid in the hands of politicians. It costs $13.5 billion. That's billion with a B. Can you believe that? That could mean higher taxes for all of us. It's bad for our business, and it's bad for Maine. Question 3 is a risk Maine can't afford.
Mesothelioma is more than a ravaging illness. It is a disease that can ruin a family's finances and is never the victim's fault. The law offices of Joe Bornstein has been fighting and winning for Maine families for nearly 50 years, and we've collected over $500 million for injured Mainers. If you or a loved one is a victim of mesothelioma or asbestos-related lung cancer, call Joe today for a free case evaluation and to learn about your family's legal rights. Dial 207-CALL-JOE or online at joebornstein.com.
Let's face it, getting training and experience is hard, but at Loring Job Corps, we can help. From certifications in automotive technology, obtaining your CDL, or learning building trades, we have you covered. Maybe you prefer joining the high-tech world of computer networking or cybersecurity. We have that as well. Don't delay, get in the driver's seat to your future today. And the best part, Loring Job Corps is free. Receive free training, free meals, and even free housing. Call or go to jobcorps.gov/Loring. Job Corps careers begin here.
Tomorrow morning on Star 97.7, Paul Dupuis has the music and fun. Sonny Shepard brings you Star 97.7 local news, and Steve McKay with the weather. Turn on your radio and get the Star treatment with Star 97.7.
Welcome back to Good Morning Maine. I feel very honored. I'm here with Isaac Steiner today. He's an old friend, and he's the chef at Cottage Street Ramen in Bar Harbor. Isaac, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
So I feel like I have to mention, too, before we get into it, we worked together at a restaurant in Bar Harbor, so that's how we know it, and it feels crazy that you're now a chef of your own restaurant. So congratulations, first of all.
And congrats on this. This is awesome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell us about Cottage Street Ramen. This is kind of different than your average restaurant.
Yes.
How so?
So the main difference is all of our profits go to helping a nonprofit in Bar Harbor called Open Table MDI, which helps fight food insecurity on the island and helps provide people a community space also. So very welcoming space.
Right. And it's within that venue,
yes,
correct?
Within their building, we share their production kitchen, which is not necessarily set up to be a restaurant, but we make it work. And all of our services through there, our prep is done in that building, and it just runs in their space. And we kind of share that space and work together on a lot of things.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So Open Table NDI, I know that they provide food to folks on the island, and it's kind of like that. That's how they donate to the community.
Exactly. Yeah, they provide between 300 and 400 meals every Tuesday.
Wow.
Yeah, for completely free, run on donations. Yeah.
Amazing.
And the profits from my restaurant.
Yeah. So what kind of food is it? I know we're kind of looking at it, or we were just now, but it's all vegan, right?
It's all vegetarian, mostly vegan, like I would say like 90% at this point.
Wow.
It's ramen and other Asian-inspired dishes. In my background, I went to the culinary and had a French traditional background, and I tried to bring some of the inspiration from that with some Asian food I really love and a little bit of Jewish food throughout there, just for a little bit of fun and comfort food. And stuff like that. Yeah.
And I'm not vegetarian or vegan, but I've been,
neither,
and
yeah.
I love it. Yeah, and it's easy. It's easy stuff to love.
Yeah, it's simple and wholesome, and it feels good to eat.
Right. And you make everything in house, right? Even the noodles.
Noodles, broth, all the toppings, everything. It's completely in house.
Wow.
Yeah.
And it's just you and your girlfriend.
It's me and my girlfriend, and
volunteers.
if we're lucky, we have a couple volunteers throughout the week. But it's just us.
Wow.
Cranking out a lot of food.
A lot of noodles.
Yeah.
Oh, so would volunteers get the chance to learn noodles if anybody wants to come help?
They definitely can learn. They can watch.
Yeah.
The equipment to make the noodles, it's this massive machine. I ran my thumb through it. It's not fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. So safety-wise, they're not allowed to make the noodles, but they definitely can learn. I'm more than happy to teach anyone who wants to know, because it's just fun to do.
Yeah.
But there's so many other tasks that they can help out with that makes the restaurant run smoothly.
Right. Has it been a year yet since it's been open?
No, it'll be a year in June.
Okay.
I think June 15th or something like that.
So not quite a year yet, and we're finally in soup season, so it's perfect timing.
It's going to start ramping up that soup.
Okay, so location, that's all I missed, I think.
Yeah, it's in Bar Harbor on Cottage Street at 116 Cottage Street.
Cool.
Yeah.
And I think the only thing people should know before they go is that it's all on Square, right?
Yes.
So what do people need to know for that?
When you come in to order, it's on QR codes, because it's just me and my girlfriend. We don't have staff to serve, so you just place your order on the QR code, you pay through that, and then we call your name and your order's right there.
Right. So if you haven't done that before, it's really easy. You just put your smartphone over this QR code with your
camera. There'll be a little plaque on the table.
Yep, and a link will pop up, so it's very easy.
Yes.
But Isaac, it looks like we're about out of time. Congratulations
awesome.
again.
You.
Thanks for coming
having
on.
me. Yeah.
Of course. We'll send it over to Devin Biggs for our full weather forecast.
All righty, here we go. Happy Tuesday. Your full weather forecast brought to you by Tip Trailer Grocers, offering discounted and a great selection of local produce, meat, and dairy. So as we get into things this morning, we have a frost advisory in the western parts of the state, dropping later this morning, no. But as for the rest of us, no frost advisories are currently posted. We do have some clouds currently tracking through, along with some areas of dense fog near parts of the Millinocket and Caribou areas, also in parts of Washington County as well, and near the Waterville and Augusta areas, noticing some areas of dense fog developing this morning. Keep that in mind as you do travel this morning. As for the radar in Sally, we're pretty quiet out there for the time being. Just some clouds currently tracking through. A lot of the showers have cleared out of here for the time being, and we should stay dry today, except for the northern parts of the state. They may notice a few showers today, but as for the rest of us, so we're looking okay. We should stay dry today. Any moisture that we have been seeing and will continue to see will be courtesy of this little area of low pressure here that continues to sit and spin and pull in some moisture. So there are a few more chances for showers that will be on the way soon. As we do move forward, though, all right, wave heights are still up there just a bit, around 4 to 5 feet. No small craft advisories in effect over the ocean, continuing to remain a little bit active as we do move forward in time. So futurecast for today, any fog this morning getting out of here. Will be partly cloudy this afternoon. Maybe a few showers in the northern parts of the state. We'll be watching for a few showers possible later on tonight, especially for our southern counties. But as we head towards early Wednesday morning, starting off with a lot of sunshine, more fog possible yet again as we head towards Wednesday morning. We'll make sure to keep an eye on that. That'll get out of here as the day progresses on. A few showers possible again as we head towards the day on Wednesday. Then as we head towards Wednesday night, I should say, a few more showers will be on the way yet again. So otherwise, our average high temperature will be 61 degrees. That's where we should be for this time of the year. We'll do just about that the next few days in the lower 60s today, tomorrow, and Thursday. Back in the upper 50s Friday, lower 60s Saturday. And here we go, 50s again on Sunday, upper 50s, I should say, and middle 50s as we head towards your Monday. Forecast for today, lower 60s and a partly cloudy sky. Southwest wind getting up to about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Later on tonight, middle 40s, partly cloudy with a few showers out there, and the wind overall looking nice and calm. And for tomorrow, lower 60s, mostly cloudy with a few showers on the way, and south wind getting up to about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Alrighty, here is looking at extended forecast brought to you by Tip Trailer. Alrighty, we have more showers possible on Thursday with highs in the low 60s, upper 50s for your Friday with a slight chance for showers, and mostly cloudy on Saturday, highs in the low 60s.
Comfy, cozy, relaxing. Not Joe. Joe's Furniture. Joe's Furniture Warehouse in Newport is the place to find rockers, recliners, sofas, and easy chairs. Quality furniture, affordable prices. Not your average Joe. Joe's Furniture Warehouse, Grogan Avenue in Newport.
It's your journey. Own every mile in the Hyundai Tucson with America's best warranty. Now, get 2.99% APR for 60 months or up to $1,500 total savings on the Tucson. See your local Hyundai dealer today.
Honey, where's the countertop?
I sent it out to the granite shop this morning to be replaced.
Wow.
The quickest turnaround in the business, the Granite Shop in Sedgwick.
Only one question leads to life-changing money.
Is it real or is it snake oil?
The game is simple. 2 outrageous products. Just pick the real from the fake.
Would you buy one of those?
Yeah, but I'm a weirdo. Celebrity sleuths help expose who's lying.
You a cop. You can detect snake oil.
How much would you risk?
They get excited. They like to spend your money.
Go big or go home.
The con is on.
Let's play snake oil.
All new Wednesdays on Fox and watch anytime on Hulu.
Durable, sturdy, stylish. Not Joe. Joe's Furniture. Joe's Furniture Warehouse in Newport is the place to find solid wood, built to last, made in Maine dressers, bureaus, and nightstands. Not your average Joe. Joe's Furniture Warehouse, Grogan Avenue in Newport.
Welcome back to Good Morning Maine. Some users of a popular genetics testing service may have had their information stolen by hackers. 23andMe says it's investigating a hacker's claim that millions of customer profile information is up for sale on the dark web. The profile information may include names, birth years, genders, and ancestry. 23andMe says it's contacting customers whose information may have been accessed without their permission. 23andMe says it believes the hackers found passwords from previously hacked sites that matched login credentials on its site. The company is asking all of its users to reset their passwords. That's scary stuff.
Like a minefield out there.
I know.
People trying to get your personal information.
Have your passwords all in a safe place, maybe write them down and have them be different stuff for as much as you can.
I had some guy trying to get on my Facebook page over the weekend. He contacted me. He set up a bogus site so it looked like it was coming from one of my friends. And said he was locked out of his Facebook and needed something from me to get back into it. And finally I told the guy to go pound sand, but
it's horrible that we live in this world, because when I get emails or stuff that's like, click on this link and do something else, or even from somebody who looks like it may be my friend, click on this to help me out. Never click on something,
on the link.
because that's how you get the virus, or that's how you get hacked. Try to verify before, and I know it's like our jerk reaction.
Yeah, people send me emails now or just text and it wants you to click on something. I never do.
Yeah, don't click on links.
Like a real friend, let me know and I'll look on it.
But.
All right, moving on now. A new report says cigars are increasingly becoming popular among youth in the U.S. The report by Rutgers University finds about 500,000 youth smoke cigars, with more than 800 youth per day using it for the first time. The report says small flavored cigars, often at cheap prices, are partly to blame. The report says cigars are now the second most popular tobacco products for youth. The Food and Drug Administration says it is finalizing plans to ban the sale of flavored cigars.
That one may be a bit misleading, because it's also a trend, and it's common to see people hollowing out cigars and putting
putting something else
legally, recreationally in there. So that's a thing. I think it's kind of misleading to say the youths are just, those
smoking
big cigars. No, it's probably other things. Okay, drivers in Maine are experiencing a little relief at the pump. Gasoline prices in the state have fallen more than 6 cents per gallon in the last week. According to Gas Buddy's survey of more than 1,200 stations around the state, the average price is now $3.71 a gallon. That's a little over 11 cents a gallon lower than a month ago, but still 9 cents higher than a year ago. Gas Buddy's head of petroleum analysis, Patrick DeHaan, says, quote, "At long last, the decline in gas prices that we've been waiting to see has arrived, and the locomotive of falling prices has only recently started downhill, gaining momentum." DeHaan says he's optimistic the national average could drop another 25 to 45 cents by late November. So fingers crossed on that one for sure.
Good time of year, that, with the holidays coming up and the heating season. So
fuel's expensive all the way around.
Yeah. Well, the Maine Forest and Logging Museum held its Living History Days in Bradley over the weekend. This yearly event is the nonprofit's biggest fundraiser. Crowds gathered to see the famous Lombard log hauler, the locomotive parade, and the water-powered sawmill. Visitors also got to take a horse-drawn carriage ride around the property. Sarah Kolb of Durham was in the area for a wedding and decided to stop by for the event.
I love history, so I love to see how people used to live. So this is right up my alley.
So when you visit the museum, as you can see here today.
And I guess we're about out of time now.
Yeah. Have a great day, folks.